What's up, people? It's Ouija Star, back again for the top 10 characters that I want to see in Super Smash Bros. Switch. A bunch of people are doing this prediction thing because predicting Smash Bros. Is a big deal. And it seems like a little race to see who's closest to the final roster. As I said before, this prediction business is a pretty serious thing. And in this video, I'm going to throw my own hat into the ring. However, some of my predictions are admittedly pretty out there and unlikely. So, I'm gonna call this a top 10 wish list. Without further ado, let's get this show on the road! Number 10, we have the Snipper Clips guy. Yeah, so I'm starting out with who I want as a WTF pick, and this guy is almost definitely a character that probably only I want. So the big question, how would the Snipper Clips guy work in Smash? Well, since it would only be the one guy and not two of them, cutting and reforming would have to be done passively. My idea for Snipper Clips is to be a goofy yet somewhat effective fighter, changing his body shape of something you totally had to calculate the area of in school with googly eyes to certain things depending on what style of fighting is represented. It can change itself into a pointed edge for stabs and sword-like slashes. It could change itself into a fist-like shape for punching, a block for ground-pound-like attacks, and a scooper for grabs. And for specials, use stuff from the game that would be an extension of Snipper Clips' abilities. It could utilize the princess in the minecart, maybe throw a basketball that could explode, maybe even turn into a rocket as a dash attack. Much like Pac-Man, Snipper Clips would have callbacks from its game, and use them in funny yet strong ways. At number 9, we have Captain Toad and Kamik. So, spot number 9 is actually a tie between these two characters. I couldn't pick one over the other, because that would mean pushing Snipper Clips off the list, and I was hesitant to toss out my WTF character. And so, Captain Toad and Kamik have to share a spot. Up first, we have Captain Toad. Captain Toad would be a good character to represent the Toads of the Super Mario series, and he could do some typical Captain Toad stuff. He could use his pickaxe for smash attacks, he could throw turnips, and heck, maybe he can use his headlamp to blind opponents, stunning them for a bit. And as for specials, I highly recommend watching Game Explain's video about how Captain Toad could be implemented into Smash Bros. Because it's a pretty smart moveset and a good way to get around this Toad's main flaw, that he can't jump. In summary, Captain Toad's specials and physics would depend on his backpack. In his neutral special, he could throw a number of things from it, ranging from the aforementioned turnips along with gems, power moons, items, and even callbacks to previous Mario games. With a full bag, Captain Toad would be slow and heavy. However, with an empty bag, he would be nimble and fast, transforming from slow and defensive to quick and offensive. And of course, Captain Toad would have a special where he could use his map to find treasure and his pickaxe to dig for it, which would fill his bag again. Toad really has to be in Smash more than Peach's stupid neutral special, and Captain Toad would be a great way to do that. Kamik, on the other hand, would be a battle style that Smash needs more of. Spellcasting. And Kamik from the Yoshi's Island games is a good candidate for the character type, using his magic wand for melee attacks that could send opponents flying using magic blast that could drop bombs, have elemental effects, and have some interesting side effects when hitting the stage or an opponent. And of course, you gotta have his magical hammer for smash attacks. One interesting idea I had was for a move combining Pac-Man's assist items with stage hazards. Kamik's neutral special would summon some different enemies from the Yoshi's Island series, such as Shy Guys, Piranhas, and Koopas. Those enemies would function like Bowser Jr.'s Mecha Koopas, running around and attacking whoever runs into them. However, if Kamik rides his broom using his up special, he would sprinkle some magic sparkles, doing chip damage to his opponents. However, when it hits one of those enemies, the enemies would grow into a boss that can change the environment around. Take a moment to consider Naval Piranha or Hookbill Koopa running around in the background attacking whoever gets close. course, to balance this, Magic Sparkle's gotta have a bit of a cooldown, and maybe Kamik would be able to hit by the bosses. But of course, maybe you don't need that balance, because the enemies could be defeated before Kamik uses his magic powers. So, playing as Kamik would require some planning of moves ahead of time. At number 8, we have Sans. Yeah, this guy. So, I like Undertale. It's a good game, and it's coming to the Switch. And maybe we're hoping too much if we are asking for Sans, but maybe, just maybe, we can have this comical skeleton thrown into Smash Bros. If there is a possibility that a character from Undertale could make it in, Sans would fit best. He's a fan favorite, and he's shown that he could fight surprisingly well on a genocide route as a boss. And that would be how he plays. Of course, since he's technically the weakest enemy in Undertale, he'd be pretty frail. However, he'd have a gimmick where, much like in Undertale, he would be able to automatically dodge attacks to take lesser damage via chance. Combos would still go on, but Sans would just take less damage from them. And that chance to dodge would decrease as his percent increases. So Sans' game would be all about not getting hit and keeping opponents away. He could utilize bones in a number of ways, such as projectiles, boomerangs, and staffs. He could also use his Gaster Blasters as specials and even telekinesis via turning the opponent's Soul Blue as a long-range grab and throwing them. In my opinion, if there was going to be an indie character revealed for Smash that would make people lose their minds, Sans, and one other character I'll get to later, would do it. At number 7, we have Waluigi. It's about time we get the one, the only, the Wa in Smash Bros. So, if you ask someone which character from the Mario series should get into Smash Switch, and will get into Smash Switch, most of the time, you would hear Waluigi. This goofy meme lord mainly appears in spin-off titles, and as the Waluigi outfit from Mario Odyssey suggests, this dude has been waiting for his time in the spotlight, and hopefully, if all goes well, Smash Switch would give a spotlight to that meme lord. Since he has a prominent role in spin-off titles like Sports and Party, I think his moveset should be based around them. So his attacks could use a tennis racket, a golf club, maybe even dice blocks and items from Mario Party. The stomping that he does as an assist trophy could easily be used for his down smash, which could bury opponents in the ground. Using this outline, Waluigi could be a pretty interesting joke character, even using some dance moves and goofy looking poses while in freefall and end lag. Since he's sometimes depicted throwing bombs, he could be used as Waluigi's specials. Waluigi could throw bombs as his neutral special, or hit a quick tennis ball, or combine the two. Side special would probably be a tornado similar to Luigi's. However, his would have more side-to-side movement and throw opponents in the air, which could combo into a possible up special, which would be a 3-hit air swim, which could be more powerful but gain less height if you mash the special button. And if Waluigi does get into Smash, he's gotta have some of the goofiest taunts of them all. Juggling the tennis bombs from his neutral special, laughing and making funny faces at opponents, and putting a rose in his mouth and striking a pose. That last one could be his victory pose. And I imagine if he was revealed for Smash Switch, the reveal would be just as funny as goofy as he is. Number 6. I don't have a Pokemon yet. No, I don't want Decidueye. No, I don't want him. He's overrated. Do you want to die? Wait a minute. A compromise. Dusk Lycanroc. So yeah, unpopular opinion alert. I don't want Decidueye in Super Smash Bros. Switch. Maybe that's because of my bias against him, because I don't really like Roundlet and Edgeburb. Or maybe it's because I think one of my Pokemon picks, Dusk Lycanroc, would fit a new and unique role better. A combination of all the good things from his midday and midnight forms. And as what's pretty much an earthbender, Lycanroc presents a new element. As a quadruped, Lycanroc would also present a new battle stance that would still be in the game, Ivysaur. Unique all around. And since Lycanroc is pretty likely, because, you know, he's Ash's special Pokemon in the anime, much like how Greninja was in Gen 6. Lycanroc would use scratches with his front claws, bite, headbutts, and throw rocks around. For example, he could use Stone Edge as an up smash, a powerful rock spike that would come out of the ground. He could also use Rock Tomb as a down smash, burying anyone who gets hit. Now as for specials, he could have Counter, Midnight's signature move that functions how it does in Pokemon, taking full damage from attacks. However, additional effects would be null. Then Lycanroc would pogo off the attack and deliver a violent headbutt, dealing damage to his attacker, hitting them with whatever they hit Lycanroc with, multiplied by a whole 1.5. And Lycanroc's side special could use Midday's Excel Rock, surrounding itself with rock spikes and charging forward. It can stop once it runs into something, with a bunch of end lag if it's a wall, and it would send rocks flying forward if you press the special button again. And of course, Lycanroc's final smash would have to be the new powerful Z move, Splintered Storm Shards. At number 5, we have Bandana Dee. Now here, we have a guy who clearly missed out last time. Bandana Dee, Waddle Dee, or Bandana Waddle Dee. It's confusing sometimes. If I had to bet money on who would get in the Smash Switch, it would be this guy. It's the same case for him in the Kirby series as Waluigi and Mario's. And since Bandana Dee's got a spear, his weapon would be unique to Smash. And hey, since he's sometimes depicted with the Parasol, he could throw some Parasol moves in his moveset as well as spear moves. And I think back to Super Smash Flash 2 and how he even has some moves from the Beam ability. Bandana Dee could use a combination of everything I just mentioned for his normal moves. He could have spear slashes for combos, he could use the Moondrop as his down air, he could have the Parasol Juggle as his up throw, and Capture Beam as a forward throw. And for his specials, well, I got some really good ideas for them. You know how some people are thinking that Link will be updated to include things from Breath of the Wild, and Mario will somehow integrate Cappy into his moveset because of Super Mario Odyssey? Well, how about this? In Bandana Dee's specials, his spear could get the elemental variants from Kirby Star Allies. His neutral special could be a spear throw with the fire element added onto it, and if you charge it up, he can throw 3 spears at a time. His up special could be a spear copter combined with the power of the wind element to create a wind box below him and striking people above him. If Bandana uses the elements, the possibilities could be incredible. But there's one Kirby character who beats him out for me. And who would it be? So hear me out on this one. Communism. And of course, that character is Marks. Before Kirby Star Allies, the spot would likely have been taken by Magolor. However, I didn't expect to have as much fun as I did playing as Marks in Kirby Star Allies. So much so, that I beat the game's hardest mode, Soul Melter, with Marks. And I thought I was going to complete it with Staff. And since a bunch of people have expressed a desire for more villains in Smash, Marks, being one of Kirby's earlier villains, debuting in Kirby Superstar, would be a perfect fit. In Kirby Star Allies, controlling Marks feels like controlling a boss, and that's how I wanted to feel as a character in Smash. He could slash at his opponents using his wings, and speaking of wings, he could use them to fly, rather than just jumping, like in Kirby Star Allies. However, it would have a limit to it. Maybe it would be like the Bee-Suit in Mario Galaxy with the flying meter. And again, just like in Star Allies, Marks would function great in the air, dropping ball bombs for a neutral air, charging downwards as a down air, and doing an aerial dash as a forward air. Heck, throwing some of the cutter blades to fill out some of his other air moves. And Marks could probably use some of his attacks on the ground too. Taking some creative liberties here with his moveset, he could use the Knife Storm at close quarters, maybe as one of his throw moves, to barrage his opponent with a bunch of daggers. For specials, oh boy, Marks would have some killer specials. For a down special, he could plant a seed, and when he hits down special again, all of a sudden, the seed would burst into a thorny vine, just like in his boss fight. And as a neutral special, he could turn into a black hole, drawing opponents in closer and damaging anyone hit by the black hole. And these are just a couple of ideas for Marks in Smash. At number 3, we have Gino. Now listen, we got him as a Mii costume, and my hope will never die. So, fun fact for you guys. Gino was actually considered for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Another fun fact, Gino was promoted on my list 3 times, going from 9th to 7th to 5th, and finally to 3rd. And that just shows the surprising amount of popularity that Gino has. Some say that a Final Fantasy would beat out Gino to be Square Enix's first character in Smash. And looking back, it makes some sense. This time, hopefully we get this super cool superstar in Super Smash Bros. And even though he's only appeared in Super Mario RPG, he's received a large amount of support in the Smash ballot and gained pretty huge popularity. And if they're using the ballot to pick some newcomers in Smash Switch, then that would mean Gino would have a pretty good chance of making it. And as a playstyle, what better than zoning? It would work perfectly considering most of his attacks in Mario RPG involve projectiles. He could use his rocket fists as a combo finisher, his finger gun bullets as projectiles, and his most powerful attack, the Star Gun, for his smash attacks. And for specials, well, that's pretty easy. Just use Gino's specials from the game. Gino Beam for a neutral special to fire a beam in front of him. Gino Whirl to fire a massive disc that would deal pretty huge damage if timed correctly. As a side special, Gino Boost could be used as recovery, taking some creative liberties with it. And Gino Blast is a down special. And here's an idea for a possible gimmick for Gino. How about action commands? It's an idea that I first found from the content creator Delzathan, and when I heard it, I thought it was brilliant. If you were playing Gino and used an attack and pressed a button with good timing, there would be added effects to the attack. In my opinion, it's a great way to work in some elements from the game that Gino originated from. And if Gino was added with his concept of action commands, or timed hits as they're called in Super Mario RPG, this Smash Bros. Theme could see something totally new. At number 2, we have Shovel Knight. Okay, who saw Shovel Knight coming? And don't lie to me now. Well, he's pretty dang cool, and Shovel Knight, the game, is really freaking good. As much as I don't want to admit it, Shovel Knight would probably have to rely on Smash Ballot to get in. But that isn't stopping me from putting in this high on my wish list, because I feel that Shovel Knight would make a great addition to Smash Bros. His weapon, the shovel, hasn't been used before. Although, for the most part, it functions like a sword, but it could have some uses that a typical sword does not. For example, he could reflect projectiles with it if he swung his shovel with good timing. Or how about he could just use his shovel like a normal shovel? He could dig up some of the ground to throw it at opponents like a heavy projectile. I imagine the physics on the bunch of dirt would be like Mii Brawler's shot put attack. If Shovel Knight is included, then his down air should really gotta be his mid-air shovel strike. Hey, maybe he could even use it to bounce off projectiles or opponents. He'd even use his anchor fishing rod as a way to grab, sort of like Link's hook shot. And just when some people thought that all this Knight had was a shovel, guess again. He also got some powerful magic items that he could use in his specials. For a neutral special, Chaos Spear. It wouldn't be that strong, but it would ricochet off shields, platforms, and opponents, getting faster each time it does. His side special, Dust Knuckles. With repeated button presses, he could punch anything up to 5 times, but it won't get past 2 if you can't hit anything. For recovery, Propeller Dagger. It can float up and smash, unlike how it floats to the side in Shovel Knight. And as a down special, War Horn. Starting slow, but creating a large hitbox, damaging all foes and projectiles within. While Cloud getting in might not have brought all the rules crashing down as some people think, if the ballot goes in his favor, or by something close to a miracle, and Shovel Knight gets into the Smash Bros. Switch's base roster, this guy would be a very happy camper. And now we have 5 honorable mentions that didn't make the list for a couple of reasons. First off, we have Skull Kid. He looks cool, but I don't know much about him because I haven't played the Legend of Zelda series at all. And it's more likely we'll get something from Breath of the Wild, so a combination of those factors led this guy to be cut from the list. But still, I'd like to see this guy over most of the characters from the Legend of Zelda series. Second off, Rex and Pyra, whatever. Like Skull Kid, lack of knowledge led these two characters from Xenoblade to be cut from the list. I say two, but from what I hear, most of the prediction lists is that Rex and Pyra would just be one fighter, which I don't mind. Sword slashes, magic, maybe throw in Mithra as a final smash or something like that. Third, Paper Mario. This guy, I've seen some of his games and even played through some of Super, so I have quite a bit of Paper Mario knowledge. However, I am a little nervous that because of the modern take on Paper Mario that, let's face it, never needed to happen, he would just end up being a Mario clone. If I put Paper Mario in Smash, his moveset would be combo of old and the new. Hammer attacks, partners, the whole shebang. Fourth, Springman. Simply put, lack of passion. And I don't mean to insult ARMS in any way by saying this. However, I just like the others better. Yeah, even the Snipperclips guy. Consider Springman to be my number 11 on the list. They probably have some normal melee moves, but have a long-range grab and similar specials. And finally, Zoroark, a victim of circumstance. He's a fan favorite from Gen 5, however, since Gen 7 is new and Gen 5 isn't, if we are only to get one new Pokemon for Smash Switch, we are likely to get one from Gen 7. However, if we get more than one, then I say it's up for grabs for any gen. And as for having a Generation 8 Pokemon, I honestly think we're getting Gen 8 in 2019, and Let's Go games kind of just proves that even further, but that discussion is for another time. You can transform into different Pokemon to attack and be cunning and sneaky when fighting. Now then, onto the character that I want the most in Super Smash Bros. Switch. Over Waluigi, over Lycanroc, over Bandana Dee, and even over Marsh, Gino, and Shovel Knight. Who could it possibly be? Well, I'm giving him a huge introduction. This fan-favorite villain for the Mario and Luigi series doesn't really need any introduction. The last stop on our list is the one and only Fawful. To show how much I wanted Fawful in Smash Switch, I made the entire moveset for him. Tilts, smash attacks, aerial specials, taunts, the whole thing. And I can go into more detail in a different video about my ideal Fawful moveset. And heck, I can probably do that for a bunch of the characters on this list. And if you guys want to see some of the videos, show some support, and I'll do more videos on the subject, depending on your support. Fawful being in Smash Switch could promote the remake of Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story that's coming in 2019, because Fawful's the main villain in that game. And as a quick side note, I like how in the announcement for the remake, they actually mentioned Fawful instead of just saying some mysterious villain or dark force or whatever. Back to the point. In my opinion, Super Smash Bros. Definitely needs more characters in the Mario RPGs, not just the platformers. And like what I said about Marks, some people have a desire for more villains in Smash. Fawful would fit perfectly into both of those hopes. My idea for Fawful would him be fighting as his dark form, since that's the form he uses to fight, and that's where most of his magical attacks come from. He could use his headgear to punch, stab, burn, blast, and grab his opponents all over the place. My ideas for throws would be just as devious as he is. Forward throw could slam the foe onto the ground and throw them forward. Back throw could be a suplex throw. Up throw could have a wind box effect. And down throw could spray the opponent with a mist that puts them to sleep for a short time. And specials will be taken from some of Dark Fawful's attacks. He can send dark rockets that home in on opponents. Side special could be him spinning around with a star shot from his gun, which would spread out from Fawful when it ends. Down special could be creating a portal facing Fawful immediately. And once two portals are set down, anything, and I mean anything, can pass through it, but only for a short time. However, be too short to render it useless. I'd say 4 to 5 seconds. And for a final smash, Fawful could summon the Dark Star in his headgear and create a huge dark arrow and throw it down for a massive explosion of dark energy. And those are the top 10 characters that I want to see in Super Smash Bros. Switch. If you disagree with me at all in this list, don't throw hate at me just for having an opinion that's different from yours. No one wants to deal with that sort of thing. Instead, put your top 10 list in the comment section below. And if you want to see me go into more detail about my ideal moveset for characters like Fawful, Shovel Knight, Gino, and others, show support by commenting that you really want to see it. And I'll do it. More support means more characters get shown. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and share this video with a friend. And if you want to see more videos like this, and gaming videos as well, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload. This is Ouija Star, signing off. Bye!